Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. हरे कृष्ण वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees हरे कृष्ण please accept my humble obeisances. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sangha conference call. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the order of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activity karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have a complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Before we move on to the next part of the session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class, may I know who all joined this morning?
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji Damrit, Pranam Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Pritidasi from Shalva.
Hare Krishna Preeti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and announcing your name first. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Balavrinda. Hare Krishna Balavrinda, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru Maharaj and Shri Guru and Gauranga, and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashmati Priya Devidasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna Yashmati Priya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and chanting so beautifully. Welcome to the call, Mataji.
Mataji, you chanting very nicely, very beautifully. All
Thank
the
you,
time.
Mataji. Please bless me that I can continue doing that, Mataji.
You are always doing very nice.
Thank
all
you,
glories
Mataji.
to your services,
All
Mataji.
glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj, Mataji. Thank you. Please bless me so that I can continue.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, or Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, blessing all of us with your sweet association. Welcome to the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and Gauranga, all glories to all. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every single day for all the calls and giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shamagari Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining, and thank you for all the services for the group, bringing good speakers. Mataji, welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Kandarika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Assembly of Queen Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Very nice to hear your voice this morning, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Anitaramya from Sharjah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Ramya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and the assembled devotees. This is Revati from Atlanta Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Revati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining us always and giving your association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Nice to hear your sweet voice this morning. Hare Krishna. In the chat. Hinal Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji. I saw you joined for chanting also. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So I will start the recording here. Then I will read the introduction. Give me a minute. Something happened to my screen. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Gaur Chandra Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th Canto, 3rd chapter, 30th verse. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to read a brief introduction about Prabhu. His Grace Gaur Chandra Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and got connected to ISKCON in 1993 at Chowpatty, Mumbai. He is a gold medalist in electronics engineering from Mumbai University and an MBA as well. Currently based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Prabhu has been involved in congregational preaching and as a spiritual counselor for many decades now. And an ISKCON certified teacher, Prabhu loves to teach Shastras, especially the Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. He is a certified Bhakti Shastri teacher. Prabhu has additionally served earlier in various capacities such as a temple presidential council member, chairman of spiritual counselor board and head of Vaishnava Training Academy in Kuala Lumpur. And an IT consultant by profession, Prabhu have served many multinational corporations in a career of around 28 years. Prabhu is married to Her Grace Chandrika Devi Dasi and stays in Kuala Lumpur with his two sons, Sham and Ram. Hare Krishna. Very nice introduction of Prabhuji. Glorious services. Is Prabhuji there on the call? I don't think so. We will wait for Prabhuji.
Prabhuji is coming, Mataji.
Okay. Yeah, Prabhu is here. Okay, with a different name. Okay. I'll be changing Prabhuji's name. That's okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so
Hare
much, Prabhu, for
Krishna.
joining and giving your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I now hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Wonderful services to ISKCON, Prabhu. All glories to your services. Over to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Please change my name accordingly. I
Yeah,
just
sure,
logged in.
sure.
I'm
I
so
will change.
sorry. I just came from a devotional retreat in Malaysia. We had a 3-day devotional gathering, and I just came back and I came to my desk. So I'm just in time. So if I'm a few minutes late, please, my apologies. Just give me 1 minute. Just setting up something quickly. Just give me a minute. Okay. So we'll be discussing 8.3.30, wonderful pastime. Thankfully for me, a continuation of what we started discussing last time, if any of you attended. So we'll start with Jai Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopijan Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Shri Radha Madhava Ashtasati Vrinda Ki Jai. Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Gaura Sitanath Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanachhalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Pancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyev Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Vedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvari Pacharani. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavat, Canto 8, Chapter 3, verse 30. Mataji, will somebody be sharing, or do you want me to share the screen? I can do that as well. So we are reciting 8.3.30. I will recite and then go to read the translation and purport. Shri Shuka Uvacha Evam Gajendram Upavarnita Nirvishesham Brahmadayo Vividalinga Vidhabhimanaha Naite Yadopasar Sarsrpur Nikhilatmakatvat Tatra Khilamaramayo Harir Avirasit. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: Sri Shukadev Goswami continued. When the king of the elephants was describing the supreme authority without mentioning any particular person, he did not invoke the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra and Chandra. Thus none of them approached him. However, because Lord Hari is the super soul, Purushottama, the personality of Godhead, he appeared before Gajendra. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. From the description of Gajendra, he apparently was aiming at the supreme authority, although he did not know who the supreme authority is. He conjectured there is a supreme authority who is above everything. Under the circumstances, the Lord's various expansions, such as Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Chandra, and Indra, all thought Gajendra is not asking for our help. He is asking the help of the Supreme, who is above all of us. As Gajendra has described, the Supreme Lord has various parts and parcels, including the demigods, human beings, and animals, all covered by separate forms. Although the demigods are in charge of maintaining different aspects of the universe, Gajendra thought that they were unable to rescue him. Harim vina naiva mritim taranti. No one can rescue anyone from the dangers of birth, death, old age, and disease. It is only the Supreme Personality of Godhead who can rescue one from the dangers of material existence. Therefore, an intelligent person, to get free from this dangerous existence, approaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not any demigod. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.20, Kamais tair ritagyanaha prapadyante anya devataha. Those who are unintelligent approach the various demigods for temporary material benefits. Actually, however, these demigods cannot rescue the living entity from the dangers of material existence. Like other living entities, the demigods are merely external parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's transcendental body. As stated in the Vedic mantras, Sa Atma Angani Anya Devataha. Within the body is the Atma, the soul, whereas the various parts of the body, like the hands, the legs, are external. Similarly, The Atma of the entire cosmic manifestation is Narayan, Lord Vishnu. And all the demigods, human beings, and other living entities are parts of his body. Vishnupadaya Krishna Parishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshtavi Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhete Girim Yat Kripatamaham Mande Shri Gurum Deen Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om. Hare Krishna. So I'd like to thank all of you for again giving me this opportunity to present and discuss this very wonderful episode, very historical episode from the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Gajendra Moksha pastime. So we are at a very, very interesting juncture in this beautiful pastime. We are discussing Canto 8, Chapter 3, Verse 30. We are at the point of the climax of this entire pastime. Gajendra, we have been discussing over the last chapter and this chapter, how Gajendra in the Trikuta mountains, which are surrounded by the ocean of milk, in such an opulent setting, such a powerful king of the elephants. The most beautiful place, the picnic spot of the Devatas, so powerful, so accomplished, surrounded by so many she-elephants and so many children, and enters into a beautiful, beautiful lake to perform sporting pastimes in the lake of in the valley of the Trikuta mountains. And in what seemed to be possibly the most enjoyable time of his life, as fate would strike it, suddenly the foot of this very, very powerful elephant got caught by a crocodile, who was thinking, who is this who has come into my area and is disturbing my domain? Well, king of the elephant, king of the forest, you are a Gajendra. Why coming into my domain, the water, and creating so much disturbance? So the crocodile was a bit upset. And he held on, latched on to the Gajendra. A huge struggle ensued. 1,000 celestial years, the Bhagavatam describes. A tug of war, almost. But rather than the rope, it was the foot of Gajendra. Sometimes Gajendra would pull a few feet behind and then again he would be dragged into the water. No matter how hard Gajendra tried, he was unable to rescue himself from this very, very dangerous situation. His elephant friends, they tried to pull him from behind. They were unsuccessful. And as time was passing, Gajendra was becoming weaker and weaker and weaker. His wives, the many, many she-elephants, they were crying tears. His children were crying tears. None of them were able to help. And time was passing and passing and passing. 1,000 celestial years until the time that Gajendra started realizing he was losing his strength. The Bhagavatam very beautifully describes, and that's a very beautiful section of verses where Srila Prabhupada has commented so beautifully to explain why Gajendra was losing strength, because he was in an unnatural position, the water, whereas the crocodile was in its natural environment. And a very beautiful point Srila Prabhupada highlights of how a devotee in his fight with Maya should always ensure that he is situated in his natural position. It doesn't matter whether, even if one is a grahastha, one can make very nice spiritual advancement if his nature is suited to be grahastha. In the fight with Maya, Srila Prabhupada says it is very important to be situated in a situation which is aligned with one's nature and spiritual position. So that's a very beautiful puppet. I'm sure you have all gone through it. I'm just quickly recollecting some of the highlights of what we have been discussing over the last many weeks. And eventually, as time elapses and Gajendra starts becoming weaker and weaker and weaker, Gajendra's initial plea or his initial attempt to become free from the jaws of crocodile slowly matures into a deeper and deeper and deeper realization that now it's over. It's over. I am not going to be able to escape. I am finished. And as this realization dawned upon him, somehow, and this is how this particular chapter, the third chapter begins, somehow, because of Gajendra's past life, where he was King Indradyumna, the pastime of King Indradyumna and why he got into this situation where he became an elephant is described in the subsequent chapter, so we'll not go into that now. Somehow, actually that somehow is by inspiration of the Lord. Matta smritar jnanam apohanam cha. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto matta smritar jnanam apohanam cha. Vedaischa sarvairahamaiva vedyo vedanta krita veda videva chaham. I am situated in everyone's heart. I give, from me comes forgetfulness also and remembrance also. Krishna from within the heart helped Gajendra remember the prayers. When he was a devotee in his past life, the prayers that he would utter. And Gajendra naturally erupted into prayers, beautiful, beautiful prayers, which sprung as if from nowhere into his consciousness. And he started uttering these beautiful prayers, praying to the Supreme Being. In his heart, requesting the Supreme Being to come to his rescue. Srila Prabhupada speaks very nicely in those verses. He says, that is why devotees should practice reciting these prayers. One should practice chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Because one doesn't know when, in what situation. Because of our past practice, suddenly this remembrance will come and it will save us from a very, very dangerous situation. Prabhupada also comments on or points to the pastime of Ajamil. How suddenly he remembered the name of Narayan just because of his past practice. Even though it was his son, but still his past practice played a role in helping him to recollect the name of Narayan. So important. And very beautifully, Gajendra, the elephant, normally an elephant, an animal species, a Muda species. In fact, in his prayers, Gajendra himself says, I am just a Muda. There are so many great devotees who offer so many wonderful prayers. I am just a Muda. I am an animal body. And in bracket, it is as if saying, I don't even know how I am praying. I am offering these prayers. Please, you are the savior. I am not such a great devotee, but so very beautifully, Gajendra offers various prayers. But very interestingly, even though Gajendra offers these various prayers across his entire prayers, Gajendra does not directly refer to the Supreme Lord by name. He doesn't refer to the Supreme Lord by name. I pray to the Supreme Being who is so and so and so. He describes the various transcendental qualities of the Lord. He describes the various energies of the Lord. He describes how the Lord is the Savior. How living entities who are trapped in the material world are saved by the Lord. He describes the Lord in various ways, but he doesn't name the Lord. As Gajendra is going through his wonderful prayers in this particular chapter, chapter 3 of Canto 8, one interesting thing, I do not know whether you noted that or it was discussed in the previous classes. Initially, as Gajendra is praying, one of his chief motivation is to save his life from the jaws of this crocodile. But if you study the prayers carefully, as Gajendra is coming to the conclusion of his prayers, which is actually He has just concluded his prayers actually. We are on the next verse just after the prayers have concluded, because this verse is spoken by Shukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj to tell what happened as soon as he concluded his prayers. So towards the end of his prayers, rather than simply asking to be freed from the jaws of the crocodile, Gajendra's prayers make a wonderful transition. He says something very wonderfully. He says, "O Lord, now I do not," and this is in verse 25, "I do not wish to live anymore, even if I am released from the attack of this crocodile." What is the use of this kind of an elephant's body which is covered externally and internally by ignorance? I am now praying to you not just for being free from the grip of this crocodile and to be saved bodily, but I am simply desiring eternal liberation from the covering of ignorance. I want that destruction of obstacles, which is liberation, which will not even be achieved simply by the passing of time. No matter how much time passes, everything else changes. Everything is destroyed with time. But ignorance is not destroyed. You cannot expect that, Prabhu, today, I don't know anything much, but, with time, spiritual knowledge will automatically come. It doesn't happen. Body will go, new body will come, birth, old age, disease, death. This cycle will continue. But ignorance doesn't get destroyed automatically. Oh Lord, what is the point? This Muda body of mine, you will save. Maybe you will save. He doesn't know for sure yet. He's praying. But even if you just save that body, now no longer I just want that to happen. What do I want to happen? Oh Lord, my prayer now is, I am simply desiring eternal liberation. I want to be delivered from this ignorance. I want to be liberated from this suffering. Fully, I am desiring liberation from material life. And that is why I offer my respectful obeisances to you. Very beautifully, he takes a flower. Of course, that comes a little later, and he offers it very heartful when the Lord appears, which we'll discuss in a couple of verses. But he has come to that state. This is a very interesting aspect of this verse. There are many beautiful points in this verse, and we discuss many beautiful points Srila Prabhupada has raised in the purports, and we discuss those as well. Very beautiful thing he says. He refers to the Supreme Lord in this verse with a very beautiful word, with a very beautiful words. He says, "Oh Lord, you are the supreme shelter. Yad bhayan mrityun pradhavati." Not in this particular verse, actually in the verse where he referred to in terms of attaining liberation. Everyone is running out of fear of death, but this death itself is running out of fear of you. That is why, Lord, O Supreme Lord, I am praying to you. I am not praying to anybody else. I am not praying to any of the devatas. There were some devatas who had already assembled in the skies. And actually, when the Lord appears, many other devatas also appear. But he is very clear. I am praying to that Lord, that Supreme Lord. Yad bhayan mrityun pradhavati. Even death runs away in fear from him. Why? Because I am not just asking to be free from the jaws of the crocodile. To be free from the jaws of the crocodile, is it necessary that the Supreme Lord has to come? Is it? It's a crocodile. To kill a crocodile, can the devatas not kill a crocodile? What to speak of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva? Even so many of the other devatas, Indra, Surya, Chandra, can they not kill a crocodile? Of course they can. But Gajendra has come to the point that he doesn't just want release from the crocodile. The intense suffering that he has gone through and the anticlimax that he has gone through. What is that anticlimax? From the situation of what he thought is going to be the pinnacle of enjoyment for him, from that he has been thrown into the depths of despair, of helplessness, of suffering, where he can see no way that he can come out in a moment. The most romantic experience that he expected to have turned into the most ghastly episode for him. And this kind of trauma that Gajendra went through made him realize not just that he's in a dangerous situation, but it made him realize padam padam yad vipadam natesham. I no longer want to be in this material world, because in this material world, at every step, there is a danger. I was not realizing all this while I was thinking, oh wow, life is good. Life is good. And I have made it in life. I am so successful. I am so beautiful. I am so wealthy. Who is more aristocratic than me? Who is more accomplished than me? And poof, padam padam yad vipadam. He came to that realization that I now understand how this material world is a danger at every step. How it is futile to try to find happiness in the material world. And that is why his prayers very quickly, actually it was not very quickly, it took 1,000 celestial years for him to go through that transition, but at least in his prayers, towards the conclusion of his prayers, after 1,000 celestial years, I don't want just liberation from this. I have realized now, I just don't want to be in this material entangle. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shaina. I want to surrender to the Supreme Being. I want to be free. 1,000 celestial years of intense suffering. Sometimes we as devotees, and we were briefly discussing this point the last time when I spoke also, why Krishna puts his devotees into suffering. And we briefly discussed that it is not that Krishna wants to just punish his devotees, give them karmic reactions. The main purpose why devotees are put through various sufferings is to push them to this point of realization that Krishna is my only shelter. Correct? Krishna is my only shelter. Oh, Krishna, I surrender to you. Nobody else can help me. Not my wealth, not my power, my position, my friends, my family, no wife, no children. Nobody can help me. Only Govinda can help me. So realization of the futility of material existence is the beginning of spiritual life. Okay? So first step in spiritual life is beginning of to understand. I have been trying to enjoy material world for so long, life after life after life. Something is wrong in this formula. I am still not happy. I am getting more misery than happiness. Something is wrong. So, bahunam janmanam ante jnanavam bam prapadde. Finally, one comes to the beginning point first of realizing that material life is miserable. That's the entry point into spiritual life. Because until a person comes to the point of realizing, or I should not even say realizing is probably a big statement, beginning to understand the futility of material existence, he gets some hint. Kuch to problem hai, there is some problem. in this formula. In this whole scheme of material enjoyment, there is a fundamental flaw, that this is doomed to failure. Doomed to failure. Until the living entity is firmly convinced of this point, his attempts at material enjoyment will continue in some shape, some form. And that is the difference between a Kanishta and a Madhyama. A Madhyama Adhikari devotee is so firmly convinced. He has firm faith because he is firmly convinced of the futility of material existence. Strong faith. And as one's faith in material enjoyment goes away, and simultaneously, two sides of the spiritual coin, detachment from matter and attachment to Krishna. And attachment to Krishna and taking shelter of Krishna increases. Ultimately, one comes to the point, Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Oh Lord, I figured it out. Finally, after many lives, Bahunam Jarmanam Ante Jnanavan Mahaprabhu. I have to fully take shelter of Vasudeva. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Aham Tuam Sarvapapebhyo Mokshayashami Master. No one can save me, not even the Devatas. And that's a very big topic. We'll come to that in a few minutes. Draupadi, she also showed a similar situation. There's this beautiful pastime which is described. I've heard this from many devotees, how Draupadi, when she was put into that very terrible, humiliating situation where she was being disrobed in a public assembly in front of the elders and so many others in the court. Can you imagine? I mean, this is like Hastinapur is the capital of the planet at that time. And in the assemblies, like, in the parliament hall, the Kulavadhu of the ruling family is being disrobed in public and nobody can do anything. That was Draupadi's, of course she's a pure devotee, but from a Leela perspective, that was her moment of realization. Nobody can help. Initially, she tries a bit to save herself. She pulls onto the sari as Dushasana is trying to disrobe her. Pretty much like Gajendra tried initially, only to realize, just like Draupadi realized, that she's incapable. She's incapable in her own strength to protect her honor, and nobody around her, those who are supposed to protect her, are able to protect her. There's also this beautiful pastime in the same connection which I've heard, where it is said, initially when Draupadi called out to Krishna, it is said Krishna and Rukmini in Dwarka were playing a game, chess or chausar or something like that. And suddenly Krishna gets up and starts running to the door. Oh Lord, you're playing, where you're leaving the game and going? No, my devotee Draupadi called me. I'm going. She says, okay. And then Krishna goes a few steps, then he comes back again and sits down and starts to continue to play. Rukmini says, what happened? I thought you were busy. You are just about to go. He said, yeah, I thought Draupadi, really needed me, so she called out. But now I am seeing that, she's trying to sort out her problem on her own. She again has faith in her own abilities to sort out her problem. So no hurry yet. You can continue playing for some more time. And when Draupadi eventually realizes the whole hopelessness, or her helpless situation, then she puts both her arms up and looks up and just, hey Krishna, hey Govinda, totally helpless. Then Krishna tells, now I have to go. Now she is calling out fully helplessly. And Krishna appears there in a moment. And the rest we know, how the Lord supplies her sari and protects her honor. A very beautiful pastime. The same spirit, Gajendra, realizing the helplessness of the situation, realizing the futility of material existence, realizing his inability and the ability of all other material arrangements, including all his Raja, his relatives, Dara, his wife, Suta, the children, nobody can help. Helplessly he turns to the Lord. So this is what the Lord is waiting. Sometimes devotees ask, oh, I've been chanting for so long. I've been doing so much sadhana. Why the Lord is not saving me? And there's a very wonderful answer I've heard from senior Vaishnava. Very, very wonderful. The answer actually is very simple. The answer is because actually at this point we don't really want exclusively only the Lord and nothing else. On one hand, we are holding on to all our material aspects, still have hope in material enjoyment, and one side Krishna, one side Maya. We are just trying to balance our game. So Krishna says, okay, complete your balancing game. You go through a sadhana, you get more purified. And to help you in your purification process, I will give you dose by dose. Maybe not the kind of shock treatment that Gajendra or Draupadi went through. Maybe not everyone can take it, but Krishna knows what is necessary for each of us to prod us towards that point where we entirely and completely realize the futility of material existence and take complete shelter of the Lord. That's a journey. For some, it happens like this. For some, it may take many lifetimes. For Gajendra also, we may think, oh, it happened quickly. No, it was 1000 celestial years of intense suffering. I don't think many of us have gone through that much even in our sadhaka lives. 1000 celestial years. And not just 1000 celestial years of sadhana, 1000 celestial years being in the grip of a crocodile, continuously struggling. That's what it took for Gajendra to come to that point of clear realization that material life is futile. Now I don't even just want to be free from this problem, because even if I become free from this problem, problems will continue to come. Padam padam yad vipadam. That is why na tesham. I don't want to be here. I want to be delivered. And none of these devatas can deliver me. Only Mukunda can deliver me. He doesn't take the name of Mukunda. But he knows, based on his past impressions of bhakti, he's praying to the Supreme. He has that sense because of his devotional impressions of his past life. That maybe the devatas can at most save me from this crocodile, but I'm no longer looking to be saved just from the crocodile. I want to be saved from the entanglement of material life. I want to be free from samsara chakra. I want to attain the lotus feet of the Supreme. That is why very fervently he prays to the Supreme. Srila Prabhupada says he didn't even know. Because in his previous life as Maharaj Indradumna, he knew Lord Hari as the Supreme. But in this particular situation, in that particular body, he didn't have a full recollection of his past life. All he could recollect is those prayers. And he had a sense that Supreme Being, Srila Prabhupada says very beautifully, he didn't know who's the Supreme, but he conjectured, Srila Prabhupada says, there is a Supreme Authority, and only that Supreme Authority who's above everyone else, he can actually give me what I want. So even though there is Indra, Chandra, Brahma, Shiva, in his prayers also he says these are all part and parcels, all living entities, whether they are devatas or humans or animals, they are just your part and parcels, my Lord. He was very clear. Harim vina naiva mritim taranti. Gajendra thought nobody else can save me other than the Supreme. No one can rescue anyone from the dangers of birth, old age, disease, and death. So he was very intelligent in that way. Many people, they think, oh, I can worship anybody and I can achieve the same results. No. Srila Prabhupada is so clear on that. Again and again, through his Bhaktivedanta purports across the various literatures, not just Gita, Bhagavad, even in all the various small books. one must approach Mukunda, the giver of liberation. Mukti pradata sarvesham Vishnur evana samshaya. The giver of liberation from material existence is Vishnu eva. Srila Prabhupada says that the devatas, because they are associated with the modes of material nature, they are unable to give liberation. And that is why an intelligent person, Srila Prabhupada says, just like Gajendra, he showed his intelligence, his spiritual intelligence in this situation, that he approached the Supreme. Srila Prabhupada says, a genuine spiritualist should approach the Supreme Lord, the intelligent person, to become free from the ocean of material existence. And Prabhupada quotes the Bhagavad Gita. In this respect, with respect to comparing the effects of worshipping the devatas versus worshipping the Supreme Lord, very beautifully explained in the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, very nicely. So if you want to understand this topic in a fair amount of detail, please read the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Again, I'm sure most of you have read it, but read it again very scrutinizingly. Prabhupada quotes verse number 20 from the 7th chapter. Kamaistai rita jnana prapadyanti anya devataha. Generally living entities who are infected, Kamaistai rita jnana, whose intelligence has been stolen away. In fact, Prabhupada is more strong, Krishna is more stronger. Rita jnana, Kamais, by lust, those whose intelligence, spiritual intelligence is stolen away by lust. Prapadyanti anya devata, they approach the other devatas. And Krishna then very beautifully speaks. I'm not going to quote all the verses, but essentially Krishna in the 7th chapter tells Arjuna that when such materially lusty worshippers of the devatas approach the devatas, then I, who am the super soul in the heart of that materialistic worshipper, I put the faith towards worshipping of that devata in the heart of that materialistic worshipper. And then following the anushtana, whatever is the proper Vedic way of worshipping of that particular devata, that particular worshipper of the devata worships that devata. And when he worships properly, that devata, who is my representative, gives him that blessing. But before that blessing can be given to that worshipper, I have to actually grant and allow and bestow. Mayaiva vihitan hitan. I only am the actual giver. Correct? Just like, there is a money order, right? The postman may come and give the money to us, but is the postman the one who is giving the money? The money is coming from the person who actually owns the money. It is coming from somebody's account. He is the benefactor. Postman is simply the deliverer. So the devata is simply Mayaiva vihitan hitan. Krishna says in the Gita. Even by me only. I am the one who gives the faith. I am the one who gives him the intelligence to worship the devata. Then the devata, his position is also coming from me. The devatas are not independent lords. Sometimes demigod worship is very strongly criticized. But one should properly understand what is our criticism in the worship of the devatas. Now, this is a very big topic, so I will not go into that, but I'll just hint at a few points. It's a very beautiful and important topic for devotees, for Vaishnavas to understand, especially for us who are into the path of Kevala Bhakti, Ananya Bhakti. We are not against the devatas. In fact, Rupa Goswami and the other acharyas says that if you offend the devatas, there'll be aparad. There's a problem. So what exactly is the issue? The issue is if we see the devatas as independent lords who are like competitors to the Supreme, to Krishna. Oh, I can worship Krishna or I may worship Shiva. Okay, it's my choice. It doesn't really matter. To see the devatas as independent controllers, independent of the power of the Supreme, is an offensive and faulty mentality. But what is the truth? Krishna is Deva Deva. The Bhagavad Gita says, Deva Deva Jagatpate. Aham Adir Devanam Maharshinam Cha Sarvasha. I am the source of all the devatas. In fact, the devatas, their position, are all created by the Lord as administrative lords to manage the universal body of this universe. That is what this verse actually very beautifully explains, and we'll discuss about that a bit. The positions of the devatas are created by the Lord. The power of that position is also a power which is invested by Lord Hari. That is why the devatas are sometimes referred to, not sometimes, very often, you may have come across this, they are often referred to as vibhutis of the Lord. What does vibhuti mean? Vibhuti means a particular power in the material world, and known as vibhutis. So the vibhuti or the power of creation is given to Brahma. The vibhuti of destruction is given to Lord Shiva. The vibhuti of giving rains is given to Indra. The vibhuti of shining the light and giving sunshine across the universe is given to Surya Deva, and so on and so forth. Vibhuti, these are all vibhuti. Krishna says very beautifully in the Bhagavad Gita, Yad Yad Vibhuti Mat Sattvam Srimad Urjitam Evava Tattad Eva Vagachatvam Mama Tejamsha Sambhavam. Wherever you see any extraordinary vibhuti, any extraordinary display of power and opulence, just understand it is a tiny spark of my splendor. So even the Devata's power is a part of Krishna's splendor. The position of the Devatas is created by the Lord, and the empowerment that comes in that position is also given by the Supreme Lord. Just like a king. When a king creates ministerial positions, is that ministerial position and the minister who occupies that position, is he independently powerful? Does he actually have any power? The position is created by the king. The empowerment to that particular position is also given by the king. The power is coming from the king. How does that finance minister, defense minister, home minister position become powerful? Who creates that position? King. Who gives the power to that position? King. Who appoints the person to the position? The king. But if the minister starts thinking, oh, I am, or if the public starts thinking, oh, why I go to the king? I don't like the king. I'll go and get my work done from the home minister. And he goes and says, I don't like the king. You do my work. I will, please you. I don't want to please you. Home minister says, Arey Baba, I am his servant. I am, whatever I am is because of today. I am home minister. I am dispensable. The power of my position is coming from him. I am dispensable. Tomorrow somebody else will be the home minister, but the power of this position, the vibhuti of this position is going to remain. It is not my vibhuti. It is his vibhuti. I am simply exercising the vibhuti that I am being entrusted with as a service to the Lord. That is the position of the Devatas. And that is why Krishna says, whatever the Devatas give as blessings is actually given by the Lord. So those in the kingdom who see all the ministers and representatives of the government as independent lords, they are deluded. They are deluded. But who is the one who actually sees? That when he sees any of the government employees, from the ministers up to the peon, he just says, oh, this is a representative of the king and is empowered according to his position to execute a particular function on behalf of the king. He is the one who knows. And he respects and honors each of these positions as a representative of the king. He sees things as they are. So if a devata, so if a devotee, even a Vaishnava also, when he approaches a devata, he sees the devata for what he is. And seeing him as a vibhuti and a representative of the Lord, he offers him respect as such. He is never confused or bewildered to think that the devata is an independent response, is an independent Lord. So that's a very important principle. And that is why Krishna, in the conclusion of that 7th chapter of the Gita, since we are picking some of these wisdom from there, Krishna essentially concludes that by saying that those who are worshipping the devatas are worshipping me only avidhi purvakam. Rather than eating like this, they are trying to eat like this. Avidhi purvakam. They are not understanding things. Actually, indirectly they are worshipping me, but they are not understanding how things are set up. Because they are so materialistically inclined, they want their material desires to be fulfilled. But despite all of this being true, and despite the various vibhutis being empowered, Lakshmi to give wealth, Ganeshji to remove obstacles, and so on and so forth, various devatas being empowered in various ways, no devata can give liberation. And that is what Gajendra is saying here. I know. Harim vina naiva mritim taranti. Mukunda. Only Mukunda can give liberation. So the Lord doesn't give this power to anyone. Because even the devatas generally, Lord Shiva is an Ishvara, that is in the category of Ishvara, but others are Jivas generally. Most of the devatas are Jivas. Durga Devi is the Lord's external energy, Lord Shiva is a Gunavatar, but otherwise most of the devatas are Jivas, and Jivas, few of the devatas may, basis their own spiritual attainment, be perfected souls, but generally devatas are conditioned. Many of them are Mishra Bhaktas, they're not even pure devotees. Indra is often quoted as an example of Karma Mishra Bhakta. So how can those devatas who are themselves not liberated grant anybody liberation? Granting of liberation is the exclusive prerogative of Mukunda, Lord Hari. So Gajendra, even though he perhaps couldn't recollect all the philosophy, but that sense that only the Supreme can help me, that very distinctly came in his consciousness. And even though so many devatas were there, he was very clear that he is referring to the Supreme. And one very beautiful thing Srila Prabhupada says in this purport, and this is going back to the same discussion we were just having, that the various devatas, if the whole universe is compared to the body of the Lord, Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa is a very interesting concept. That's a very big topic, but we'll not go into that now. That has been discussed in the earlier cantos in great detail. But in the Vishwarupa concept of the universe, there are many ways to see the Vishwarupa concept, but one way is to see the devatas placed at various parts on the body of the universe. Srila Prabhupada says very nicely that the demigods are merely external parts of the body of the universe. If the whole universe is considered as the body of the Lord, they are all parts of the body. But who is the Atma of the body of the universe? Srila Prabhupada says, Sa Atma Angani Anya Devataha. The devatas are the various parts of the body, but who's the Atma? The Atma is the Supreme Lord, the Atma of this universal body, whom we refer to as the Param Atma, is the actual life force, is the actual consciousness which is activating and energizing the entire universe. So the devatas are only external parts of this universal body, but the Supreme Lord, he is the Atma of the entire cosmic manifestation. That's why sometimes he is referred to as Narayana. And the devatas only the external bodily parts of the universe. That's why they are vibhutis. Beautifully, Srila Prabhupada also quotes, that is why, because he is the Atma, ultimately he is the enjoyer, he is the one to be worshipped. He is the root of the tree of the entire material existence. And when the root of the tree is nourished, the whole tree becomes nourished. When Narayan is worshipped and pleased, all the devatas automatically become worshipped and pleased. Yatha taror mool nishechanena trapyanti tat skanda bhujopashakhaha pranopahara chethendriyanam tataiva sarvar hanamachyutej. Very, very beautiful verse from the Bhagavad, the first canto. That when, just like when one waters the root of the tree, all the twigs and the leaves and the branches of the tree get nourished with water. Just like when one feeds the stomach, pranopaharacha yathendriyanam, all the limbs and senses of the body automatically get energized and nourished. One doesn't have to go around feeding separately the nose, the eyes, the ears. One has to know, if I feed the stomach, automatically the energy will be distributed to all parts of the body. Similarly, tathaiva sarva arhanam achyuta ijya. When Achyuta is worshipped, the Supreme is worshipped because he is the Param Atma of the universal body, and the Devatas are the external limbs of this body. All of them are automatically nourished and satisfied. Very beautiful. This is also a very, very important concept. So, when Gajendra prayed like this particular verse is saying, all the devatas knew exactly what Gajendra was referring to. Gajendra was very clear in his mind, I am referring to the Supreme. The devatas were there. They could have helped, but they didn't. They are looking, Arey, he's not calling us. So none of them came to help him. And in the subsequent verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur makes a very beautiful comment. We'll not go into that. The subsequent speakers hopefully will elaborate on that particular comment. The devatas did not. They could have helped, but they did not help. He's not calling us. He's calling to the Lord because he doesn't just want to be liberated from the crocodile. He now wants to be liberated. He's become a genuine mumukshu and he's taking full shelter of the Lord. He wants to be liberated from the cycle of birth and death. It is beyond my, as in the corporate world they say, it is beyond my pay scale. Which means I am not empowered to do this. I can't grant this. I can't save him from the cycle of birth and death. So they were all waiting. But the Paramatma who's present in the heart of every living entity, who's present in the heart of Gajendra, that Paramatma, that Purushottam personality of Godhead, recognizing this helpless surrender of Gajendra, immediately appeared in front of Gajendra in that very helpless situation. That is the juncture at which this verse brings us at this particular point in this chapter. And then very, very beautiful things are about to happen. So stay tuned. I know you're all hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam every day. So the next few verses are so beautiful. We are almost at the conclusion of the chapter. Very, very beautiful verses of the very sweet interaction of Lord Hari. And who is this Hari who appears? This is the Manvantara Avatar Hari. This is not Hari from Vaikuntha who comes. This is the Manvantar Avatar Hari, who is the son of Hari Medha, who comes, who later on, who appears as the Manvantar Avatar, and who comes and saves Gajendra from this very difficult situation. And the Lord, as we'll see in the next few verses, not only saves Gajendra from the crocodile, but also grants him what he has actually come to ask. So that is the kind of helpless calling, which is what is lacking. And that kind of helpless call will immediately make the Lord to appear and save us. So let us pray to the Lord that sooner than later, we will be in that consciousness that we can helplessly, with that conviction, with the conviction both of futility of material existence and the conviction of full surrender to the Lord, we can call out His holy names so that He can save us. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Thank you very much. Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such a beautiful class, Prabhuji. Very grateful to you. I don't have any questions, but such a beautiful class, Prabhu. I request dear devotees, if any questions or realizations, please raise your hand. I see Anita Ramya Mataji raised her hand. Anita Mataji, please go ahead with your question. Okay, might be you're not able to unmute. Give me a minute. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. Hare Bol. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So lastly, you were saying, first of all, thank you so much for such a wonderful class. And of course, the Lord as Paramatma is instructing everyone from inside. So at last, you were saying that Manvantara Avatar Hari is coming to save Gajendra, right? Can you explain on that? I didn't understand. Manvantara Hari in the sense?
So we discussed that the last time I spoke, which was a few weeks ago, we discussed this in great detail, but I'll briefly recap. So you're familiar with the concept of Manvantar, right? 71 Divya Yugas, there is a Manvantar. So each Kalpa, there are 14 Manvantaras, correct? So Lord Hari appeared in the Tamasa Manvantara. So every Manvantara has a Manvantara avatar. So Manvantara avatar has a very specific role. So if you want to understand this in detail, go to the first chapter of the 8th canto. This topic is discussed in great detail there. But briefly, the Manvantara avatar assists the various other administrators of the universe to manage the affairs of the universe properly. Manuputras, Devatas, Saptarishis, and so on. There are various categories, 6 categories mentioned. One of them is the Manvantara avatar. So in every Manvantar, the Lord has an incarnation who appears within the world and stays for the period of the Manvantara. He typically appears as somebody's son, and he, as Manvantara avatar, he assists in the management of the affairs of the universe. So it is mentioned that in the Tamasa Manvantara, the Lord appeared by the name Hari as the son of Hari Meda and Harini, if I'm not wrong. They are also certain demigods. As their son, he appeared, and that Hari is actually an incarnation of the Lord. So he appeared in a Chaturbhuj form, sitting on the back of Garuda, to save Gajendra from this particular situation. That is what the Bhagavatam describes. Is that clear, Mataji? So, for example, in this Manvantara, which is the Vaivasvat Manvantara, the Manvantara avatar is Vamanadev. Okay, so in each Manvantara there is different. So the Manvantara avatars are also mentioned. You can refer to the first chapter of the 8th canto, and you can also refer to Subodhini. Various nice listing is there of the various Manvantara avatars across the various Manvantaras.
Okay. So
Thank
you so much, Prabhuji.
So that Lord appeared. So there is a Lord in Vaikuntha, there is a Lord in Shvetadvipa, there is a Lord who is on the ocean of, Garbhodak ocean. Those lords didn't come, but Hari, who is the son of Hari Med and Harini, who is the Manvantara avatar, he came in this particular pastime. That's what the Bhagavatam says.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhu. So actually, this is means like I grossly have the understanding that the Lord comes in various incarnations to save His devotees. That's how I understand. And this is something new, so I have to go and study about this. And one more thing is these avatars, these Manvantara avatars are coming from Kshiroda Gosai Vishnu, because I have the understanding that
yes,
the avatars are coming
so all within this universe, all avatars come from Kshiroda Gosai Vishnu.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much, Mataji. Sukhakara Krishna Prabhu also. Yes.
Yeah.
Dandavat Prabhu.
Sukaka Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for allowing me to ask the question. Gaur Chandra Prabhu, आपका class बहुत बढ़िया, it was so good. First time
Thank you,
attending,
thank
first time, and it was so
Please give your
pleasing that
blessings.
you are really self-realized. Ekdam point, you're going up to the deep point, and about the devatas you told ripped apart. That there cannot be one equal or above. All are administrators. You told about the king and the ministers. So वो तो समझा दिया complete. There's no. But one thing you told about that we are devotees. We are also attached to our family, grandson, granddaughter. Oh ये तो उधर भी जाने का we want to go to back home, back to God. तो इधर भी अच्छा लग रहा. तो how to get completely rid of this to make it completely one-sided loving Krishna? वो नहीं हो पा रहा है. That's the big challenge. Since you are a liberated soul, you can tell.
I am far from being liberated. If in this lifetime I can actually realize even the first part of this, what I said, that material life is absolutely futile, I think I would have achieved a great
मैं भी
deal.
समझ नहीं पा रहा. I'm also not able to accept
we are all so spiritual life is like what I said, two sides of the coin. Detachment from matter and attachment to Krishna. So sometimes these are also called as two rails on which the train of Krishna consciousness goes. So the more progress we make, our increase of detachment from matter increases and our attachment to Krishna simultaneously increase as we make spiritual order. So we are all at different places. The end station is Goloka. We have started our journey at some station in this particular lifetime. And so we are progressing on that station. So of course, it's a very big topic, but I'll just briefly share one or two points, the way I look at it. Perhaps it may be helpful to you. So our standard way of making progress on both of these is through the process of purification. Now, purification happens in two ways. Okay, one is our sadhana, correct? Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktirvavati Neshtiki. Slowly, Hridayantasto Yabhadrani Vidunoti Surutsatam, correct? So that process of Namajap, Bhagavad Katha, Bhakta Sangha, Seva, all these things they all are helping us to purify. And with that, our material Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktirvavati. So that is one way. Actually, strictly speaking, that is enough and adequate. But the problem is because we have the anchors of material attachment. We are tugging at our material attachments. We are doing sadhana. We are trying to go ahead, but these things are holding us back. These things are holding us back. Various things. I mean, for each of us, there will be different kinds of anchor. So Lord Hari, being very kind and affectionate to his devotees, he says, "Acha, abhi iske sath kya karu?" The Lord is the most expert spiritual coach. ये गौर चंद्र इतना अटैच है, ये क्या पाखंडी है, सबको लगता है ये बहुत अच्छा डिवोटी है, लेकिन मेरे को एग्जैक्टली मालूम है ये क्या है. I know exactly what this Gaur Chandra is. So
why can't you repair this? So why can't you repair fast? Why can't you repair fast?
No, he does. He repairs by giving us spiritual instructions. Through Gita, through Bhagavad, through Bhaktas, he is giving us instructions. But then when he realizes this guy is not learning, he needs a little bit of a knock. He needs a knock. He needs a knock. So Krishna, he's never interested in paining his devotees and punishing them and making them suffer. No. He's never interested. But we force him to do that because sometimes, unfortunately, in the material world, the best learning is suffering. Because until we suffer, we don't realize the futility of material existence. We still have hope.
और डर लग रहा है, suffering बोलेगा तो again is so scared of the pain.
So Radhanand Maharaj, I remember he would say often, either you take shelter of Krishna voluntarily, or Krishna will make you take shelter of him by putting you into circumstances that you have to cry out like Draupadi or cry out like Gajendra. So I hope you get the idea. So better we voluntarily surrender, because otherwise Krishna knows how to get the job done. So whether we do it nicely or we have to go through it painfully is actually our choice. So let us choose wisely. That's all.
But how to? I'm not able to get the correct answer. How to really love Krishna? वो जैसे फैमिली जैसे बच्चे
हाँ।
जैसा लव नहीं हो पा रहा है, not able to get theoretically okay, yes, is wonderful, so nice. When you kirtan, you enjoy, you like it. Often you forget. Then when you get some problem at the time, you try to cry more, and at that time I am not really loving. I am just removing the uh, pain by crying and showing that I am loving him. वो सच प्रेम नहीं हो रहा है.
हाँ, so
Sorry for
that
asking
itself is a
such
process.
questions, lousy
No,
questions.
no, no, no. I'm just mindful of the time. I can go on. I don't know. So basically, Prabhu, the attraction to Krishna is a very rare jewel. Actually, genuine detachment from from matter will happen only when we become attracted to Krishna. Otherwise, even the impersonalists are trying to cultivate dry renunciation. Genuine attraction and attachment to Krishna happens when we hear and chant in the association of those who have that kind of attraction and attachment.
Sadhu
That is, when we hear and chant in the association of those who have it, their light will shine and it will ignite that attraction to the Lord. So ultimately, only when that genuine, irresistible attraction, akarshayati iti Krishna is all attractive. When our hearts become attracted to Hari, then Hari will steal our heart. Then our attraction to all material things will go away. That is when it will actually happen. Huh? So this whole, why are we coming together, reading, chanting every day together? Why are we doing together on Zoom? Why are you all inviting various speakers to come here and speak and discuss? That is our process. That is what we are doing. How soon it will work depends on how receptive we are to the holy
How
name
serious.
and to the Bhagavad. How eager we are. Tatra laulyam ekalam mulyam janma koti sukrutir apina labhyate. So uska effect, how much effective this medicine will be, both the holy name and the Bhagavad Katha and all other limbs of devotional service. This depends on how eagerly we are willing to take it in. And usually that eagerness, one of the strong impetus for that eagerness is also suffering, Prabhu. That is the unfortunate reality of conditioned souls. That is the unfortunate reality of conditioned souls, because we are not yet so attracted to Krishna. So our bigger impetus is the Maya ka three prongs, Trishul. Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, Adhyatmik. So let that part is also, it has its role. That part is also important too. And Krishna knows what proportion he has to give the medicine. So we don't need to advise him. The problem is sometimes, we become Krishna's counselors. Krishna, actually this is what I need. You don't quite understand. Only if you had given me this wife, you had given me this job, and you had given me this bank balance and this kind of family and this, then I would have been such a good devotee. You don't understand. You should come and take classes from me. We don't say it, but essentially in our heart, we tell why Krishna is not figuring out what actually I need. But Krishna doesn't need, he doesn't need our counseling. Krishna needs our cooperation with his plan. So he needs us to sincerely take shelter, cooperate with his plan. His plan manifests in various ways, from the external guru, from the internal guru, from the association of the Vaishnavas, from the scriptures. And he will, if we are sincere, he will guide us both through attracting us and also through prodding us with the trishul of the three prongs. Make us slowly and slowly come close to him. If he gives us a big shock treatment, some of us may not even be ready. We will run away.
We cannot.
We'll run away. So Krishna knows exactly what is good for us. So let him do his job. We do ours.
Wonderful. Keep coming again and again. I really like you so much.
I am your servant. Thank you so much. Please give me your blessings, Prabhu. Please give me your blessings.
Fantastic, Prabhu. बहुत बढ़िया लगा.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for wonderful questions and very nice answers, Prabhuji. Very grateful to you. Anita Ramya Mataji, you raised your hand again.
Yes, Mataji. I
Please
just
go
have
ahead,
a
Mataji.
follow-up with what Prabhuji said. So, Prabhuji, you were saying that we just have to cooperate with the Lord. So, what do you mean by that cooperation?
Very good question, Mataji. बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न पूछा. So, cooperation means two things, Mataji. I mean, I'll try to make it very simple. One is doing our sadhana seriously, sincerely, and without ulterior motive. Whatever limbs of devotion, whether it is Nama Japa, Bhagavad Katha, association of devotees, Seva, with humility.
What is ulterior motive? What is ulterior motive?
Ulterior motive means wanting something other than bhakti. Wanting something other than Krishna. So many people approach Krishna, but Krishna, ye bhi de do, aur uske saath, can I get in the
So
package also good job? I can also, I also. Sometimes we want good job first, and also along with that,
yeah,
I
bhakti
can
with
get some bhakti. So sincere, serious, sincere, and without ulterior motive. So that is the positive aspect. And the second thing of cooperation is when life throws challenges at us, which actually is Krishna throwing at us, we are not resentful towards the Lord. It is not that we don't have to try to counteract. Cooperate with misery doesn't mean, "Are maro Bhagwan, mujhko maro."
like Kunti or Maro.
It doesn't mean that I will not try to counteract them. It means to internally not be resentful of the Lord. Bhagwan, मैंने तुम्हारे लिए इतना किया, तुमने मेरे को ऐसा किया. No. We, in the difficulty, understanding that this is Krishna's opportunity to help us to realize the futility of material existence and to take deeper shelter of Him. When we are not resentful, but when we look for that opportunity to surrender, in that circumstance, we are cooperating with Krishna's plan.
Super point.
So how effective Krishna will give us a situation, but how effective that situation is to help us to get closer to Him is up to us. It is not in Krishna's hand. Krishna, of course, Krishna knows what we can take, so he'll throw the situations best, but what we can make out of the situation for us spiritually is our job. Krishna, like it is said, no, you can only take the horse to the water. You cannot make the horse drink the water.
Yeah. No.
So how much of the mercy we grab? So that is part of cooperation. Cooperation means following Guru Sadhu Shastra, one part of cooperation. And when life throws at it, to see all the challenges of life, including the challenges even in the association of devotees. There's
But if
another set
Krishna
of
wants, he can
challenges
make
which
us
come.
drink also. If Krishna wants, he can make us drink also, because he is all powerful.
No, he doesn't, because he gives us the free will.
Free will.
Krishna will never interfere with the free will.
Free will nahi
Never
dena
will
tha.
interfere. Then we are not living entities. Then there is no meaning to love. Without free will, we are mechanical.
We'll become robo.
We are robo. Then there is no difference between living and non-living. The only thing that distinguishes a conscious organism from matter, from maya, from prakrit, jada vastu, is the free will. There is no meaning to love unless there is free will. So this is one thing which is our own. Nothing else we own. But Krishna, this is one thing Krishna will never touch. And that is why I mentioned earlier, Prabhu, and just going back to that point, Krishna is just waiting for the time when we genuinely exercise our free will to say, I don't want Maya, Krishna, I want only. So all this training of beating is only happening waiting for that conclusion. This is my simple understanding from what I've heard.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I especially love the point that you said that Krishna even tests even among the devotees also. We are among devotees also. Krishna
there is not, because we are surrounded by
we'll
devotees.
have to be very careful, right? So without making any aparadh also. So that is also a very big challenge.
Very big challenge. Please bless me that I can also handle this rough waters very carefully.
But we all have to go back in this life itself. In this life itself, we all have to go back. We have to go back.
Yes,
all of us should go. Full Bhakti Sangha.
We are praying for that mercy of the Guru Parampara, that they will overlook our mistakes.
Keep us in your prayers, Prabhu. Keep all of us in your prayers, please, Prabhu.
Oh, I am servant of all of you. We will help each other to make spiritual advancement. You are elder to me, Prabhu. You should give your blessings. Thank you. Mataji, do we have time for a couple of more questions?
Yeah. As long as you have time. Usually we
I'm okay.
end up at 8 o'clock, which is 20 more minutes we have. Prabhuji, you're talking about free will, but I'm always confused about free will and karma. So, because Krishna has already destined our whole life. I mean, this is what happening. This is whatever you do at the end of the day, that is only going to happen, right? So, yes, Krishna has given us free will, and this is also there, right? So you are ending up there only. So the
Wait,
what is exactly happening? It's always confusing for me, Prabhuji.
No, no, not exactly the way you said it. So our karma, I'll try to summarize again. All of these are very, very deep, profound questions where we can go on discussing for hours. But because you have only 20 minutes for what will take many lifetimes to learn, and you are also many lifetimes in devotional service, all of you. So I will try to summarize in a few words. Hopefully, it will help you. So the basic thing is, the basic understanding, Mataji, is that karma throws situations at us. Our karma creates situations for us and throws us into various circumstances, but how we react to those circumstances is our free will. And that is exactly going back to the same point where I mentioned about cooperating with Krishna's plan. So how we react to that situation, how we react to that situation will determine whether we get further entrapped in karma or we get liberated from karma. For an ordinary materialist, if somebody does something, Nitya Mataji, karma is distant, but what do you mean karma? Karma phala, the phala is distant, but how you react to the phala is your choice in this life. You are exercising that choice of reacting to your situation at every moment of your life. You are free to react basis your free will, and that exercise of free will is creating fresh karma or liberating you from karma, depending on whether you react in a karmic way or you react in a spiritual way. So that is why what we are advised by our acharyas is to deal with every situation as Krishna. Tattenukampam sumikshamana bhanjaname vatmakritam vipakam ridvag vapubhir vidadam namaste jivetayo mukti pade sadayava. This verse has been quoted so many times, you must have heard it. I don't have so much time to discuss this. I think most of you get the point that we have to, what I meant earlier, cooperate with Krishna's plan. So when circumstances come, we don't resent them and complain to Krishna. I didn't deserve this. Why this? But we accept, I am actually such a nasty fellow. I actually deserved so much worse. But Krishna is giving me only a token of my situation just to help me improve. So let me deal with it in the appropriate. So if we take it in that consciousness as Krishna's mercy, try to react to it positively. And this is what I mean by positive. What is the positive reaction? One, not to be resentful, accept it as Krishna's mercy and react to it positively. Positively means Tattenukam susumikshawano bhunjanamim atmakrutam vipakam ridvak vapubhir vidadam namaste. One continues to take shelter of Krishna. Rid, vak, vapu. Body, mind, words. Continue to take shelter of the process of devotional service even through all the ups and downs of life. Always remaining grateful to the Lord and seeing how one can get closer to the Lord through every situation. Such a person will get liberated. For him, this is his last life. So that is the choice. That exercise of free will we have at every moment. We are not destined to react. Reaction is a choice. The situation is karma. Okay? Does that help understand, Madhavi?
It is very clear and very easy to understand the example that you've given. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. Very grateful to you. Even a small kid can understand what you have explained. Very grateful to you. Ishopanishad Mataji, please go ahead with your question.
Hi, Hare Krishna. Thank you so very much for your awesome explanations of being responsible, being held accountable for your choices. I just wanted to just reiterate that, yes, that needs to be repeated every day. Maybe I'll make a sign on the wall, you know what I mean? To just remember that, we are responsible. And I love it when you said that Krishna does not need our counseling, but our cooperation. Haribol, thank you so very much. That was clarification for me. And
Jai
again,
Ho.
I need to put it on the wall so I can see it every day. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna. Hari Hari
Haribol,
Bol.
thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words, Mother. I'm always trying to remind myself of this. It's not that I have realized this. Whenever I stray in my consciousness, I try to bring it back to this. What I am telling you. So what I'm telling all of you is I'm reminding myself that we need to continuously
Jai.
remind others that we are if we want to make genuine spiritual advancement, first thing is we have to take full accountability and responsibility for the mess we are in. Nobody else has caused us to be in the situation we are in. We ourselves are responsible. The problem is the jiva is always trying to point fingers at somebody else. My guru is not qualified. My temple president is
Jai.
not good. These people are not helping me. No, the position we are in now and all our surroundings we have created. And that is
Jai.
what it means to see things positively and make the best of the situation. And Krishna is actually so kind, is so kind, is so kind. He actually gives us so much more help than what we deserve. Huh? We are actually so very fortunate. We cannot have asked for a better coach, who's all the time with us and moment to moment giving us every opportunity, forgiving us hundreds of times, even though we falter, patiently tolerating us and continuing to still encourage us. I don't think I would have ever been able to do that with anybody. And I don't think I'll ever be able to do that. So we are actually in such perfect hands. So thank you, Mataji, for agreeing. That is our hope and that is our great fortune that we have such a wonderful Lord
Jai.
who
Hari Bol.
is
Thank you
so
for
willing to help
reminding
us. Thank you.
us. Hare Krishna. Jai.
Thank you, Mataji. I saw Bala Prabhu raised his hand and then lowered. Do you want to go with your question, Prabhuji?
Yes, okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the best classes I've listened to recently. So many points. In the interest of time, I think you mentioned, Comedy, that Gajendra is at that character now. You reach that point where he's taking complete shelter of God. He is no more you in the place to win. And that is where we want to put ourselves in, right? If you are in a Gajendra position, at least mentally, the prayers that he is doing, that this is it, that I no longer want to go back, that I'm done with material. I don't know, is that making sense what I'm saying?
Prabhu, I couldn't clearly hear you, but um, I think you are saying that we have to. Sorry, can anyone summarize what Prabhu said?
Yeah,
If somebody
yeah.
could hear him.
Can you hear me now better?
Yeah, much better, Bala Prabhu. Yes.
Okay. What I was saying is we are just in the position of one thing you mentioned very clearly is Gajendra is in that pinnacle right now, where he came to the position where, and I don't want to be any longer bound in this material world. I'm
It took
done
him
with
1,000 celestial years, Prabhu, to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think even by coming into this knowledge, there is also propel us think more of this. And more importantly, though, that if he is it also I'm getting that even to have more propelled into that is spreading this knowledge as Sankirtan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, and how Srila Prabhupada brought to all over the world, Any portion where small act we can do has a beneficial effect too, right?
Very true, bro. Very true. Very true. Yeah. This is one way to attract Krishna's, mercy and attention very quickly by helping others. If Krishna has any problem, Krishna is the Supreme Lord, right? He actually doesn't have any problem. But if anything can be categorized as a problem for Krishna, it is the pain of his heart to see the suffering of living entities like us who are entrapped. So those who help, Krishna says in the Gita and across the various scriptures, he is especially merciful to those who assist in the Mahaprabhu, in the process, in the Sankirtan movement in any way. So definitely. So these are very effective ways. So we have to be excellent in our sadhana, and we have to become servants of our spiritual masters in, like I always remember what my spiritual master says, sharing the good fortune that we have received with other living entities. Sharing. I always, because I don't think I can preach. Even whatever I am saying, Prabhu, you may think, oh, Gaur Chandra Das is, oh, what you know. So yes, I am very ordinary person. So please do not think that I am anything great. Or I have great. I am just reminding myself whatever I have heard from Guru Varga and all the senior devotees. So we have to keep reminding ourselves, and that's why we are coming together. And definitely, whatever you said is true. If we assist in this mission, then we will get special mercy and we will get special grace marks if we fall short in our final marks in the final exam at the time of death. Krishna says he has done so much to help so many devotees remember me. So now that he cannot remember me, I will help him remember me at the time of death.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point you mentioned. Prabhupada also mentioned one of the lectures when one of the devotees asked about that, what if I can't remember Krishna at the last moment? Well, he is in your heart. He will make sure you will remember him.
Yes.
I think that is the extra mercy. On that note, even Prabhupada also says we are not asking for bread for God, rather than you're asking how to serve Him. I think Sankirtana, you will be the serving aspect of it, rather than our moksha, our...
Exactly. Very true. Very true. Very wonderfully said. Yes. So we are all encouraged along with our sadhana to, according to our capacity, try to assist this great movement of Mahaprabhu. And that is why helping other devotees, especially those who are, younger to us, to come up in their Krishna consciousness is a very sacred service, which is very, very dear to the Lord and to our spiritual masters. Yes, true.
Jai.
Thank you. I think Valli Mataji has a question.
It's last
Mataji?
question.
Okay, Hare Krishna,
sure.
Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Very, very nice class and super discussions. I'm taking nice notes how Krishna is eagerly waiting to help us if we use our free will properly without going into Maya. And we are more than what we deserve. He is helping us. That's so nice, Prabhuji. So in this discussion, I had a question like, Gajendra is waiting for so long in the clutches of that crocodile. So why they say that Krishna came immediately? Sirikin Chappad Senka Chakra do Chedo Sambain Pado, like he's flying faster than Garuda and he's coming quickly and immediately. So how it will work, Prabhuji? That's what I just got a question.
Tesham aham samuddarta mrityu samsara vartmani bhavami na achirat partha maya veshita chetasa. Says that in the Bhagavad Gita also. That to them whose minds are always engaged in me, I become the swift deliverer from the cycle. So like what we were saying, what Krishna can come in a moment. We have to come to the point of wanting him exclusively. Right? So our journey is a journey of coming to that point. So many times we have heard, right? One holy name is enough.
Yeah.
Why we are not?
Chandra is doing so many prayers for so many years. So why?
No, he was not praying for so many years. No. He struggled for 1,000 celestial years. Then he prayed for 5 minutes. But that 5 minutes had 5 minutes had the full realization that he had over the 1,000 celestial years.
Same like Draupadi's story. She started calling everyone.
That's why I told Draupadi's story. Exactly. So that one call is very potent, Mataji. That is the point. So we should know the quality of the call that Krishna will respond. Krishna, of course, responds to everything. But if we want Krishna to come and appear and deliver us, that moment requires that quality of Sharanagati. So that call doesn't come so easily. it often takes sadhaka. It can, in one sense, technically, if we can do it now, that's all. One name with that quality, we are done. The name has so much power that millions of lifetimes of karma cannot, is more than enough for that, for one name, pure name of the Lord, Shuddhana. But to come to the point of chanting the name purely, it may take many lifetimes. And that is the journey of purification. To not have any desire for material enjoyment remaining any further, and to want exclusively to engage in the Lord's devotional service selflessly.
Once he
So
started
yes,
realizing, then he came immediately. Yeah.
yes. So he came to that conclusion over that period, and when he uttered these prayers, in that quality.
And in
So
the
when
last week's class, I heard that it's better than Draupadi's prayer, because Draupadi, he didn't appear there, but for Rajendra, he came on his own to help Rajendra.
I don't know. I don't want to compare. But
better than.
yeah. I mean,
Hare
Draupadi
Krishna.
is Krishna's sister. And Draupadi has such a closer relationship with Krishna. So I wouldn't, anyway, I don't want to comment on any speaker's comment, but Draupadi's relation with Krishna is very, very intimate. We cannot say that about Gajendra's relationship. But Krishna appeared there in the form of the sari. Correct? And he covered her. So Krishna will appear in various ways. See, even when we as devotees are in danger, it is not always that when Krishna appears to save us, he has to come in Chaturbhuj form or sitting on Garuda. He may do that in specific situations for specific purposes, but he doesn't have to do that. He can save us and help us in various ways.
So wonderful realization. Hare Krishna.
There was one wonderful. I'll just conclude with one small thing. I heard this past time. There was one devotee, and I may forget some details of the pastime, but basically this happened I think it happened in the US, if I'm not wrong. He was being chased by some gundas, and they were, cornering him, and he was running, and finally he got into a dark alley, and they, kind of cornered him, and they were just about to get him, and he just didn't know what to do, how to save him. So he just sat down and he started to sing Narsinga Pranam. And as these gundas were coming closer to him to, attack him, suddenly a huge roar of a lion came out of nowhere. Huge roar of a lion. And these, thugs were so terrified that they all ran away. So Narsingadev appeared, but he didn't give darshan. He just made a sound. You see, so it is the Lord's own sweet will based on situation, circumstance, and our advancement, and whatever else is needed. The Lord will do in various ways. Sometimes He may even send somebody else as His agent to help us out of a difficulty. But the devotee, Pashyati Jnana Chakshusha, through the spiritual eye, he can see that Krishna is behind. This help is coming from Krishna. So, of course, to see Krishna directly in front, that, of course, requires a very, very special quality of purity, which
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Will be there only in some cases. Yeah, thank you, Mataji.
Prabhu, yesterday what happened, I'll tell you what happened to me. I was in the mall and I was going the escalator, and there was somebody calling me from down, and I just went to see him. By the time there is some CD going on the top side, and my head was going to get crushed. My friend Sriram just pulled me, otherwise I got a small crack and little blood came, but I got saved. If I was just there and the escalator gone up, then my head could have got crushed and neck would have cut. Many things could have happened. So I could see Krishna's hand. Otherwise, who made him to pull me out? My friend. So as you said, no, sometimes Krishna may not come directly, but he comes in somehow by friend or something and helps.
We should be convinced, Prabhu, even for us, even if we are very neophyte devotees. It's not that we need to be very advanced. If we are sincere, Krishna is very actively looking at us and orchestrating various things in our life. This is very, very true. So he said we can't ask for a better boss.
No.
The best.
Every lunch, dinner, breakfast, everything he is only providing. So we are grateful to him and gratitude for everything he is doing for us.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Sukhar. Yeah, Mataji, back to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a beautiful class and very nice question and answer session. Thank you, Sukaka Krishna Prabhu, for sharing that.
Thank you,
And
Mataji.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy that nothing happened to you.
Yeah, there's a small
Generally,
cut. No, small cut.
your wonderful
Some
services, your love
blood
for
came.
Krishna is always there with you, Prabhuji. So
Thanks for all your
that shows
blessings and
that.
prayers.
We
Thank
are
you. Thank you
happy
so
that
much.
nothing happened to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Mataji, Dandavat.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very wonderful class, Prabhuji, and very beautiful question answers. Devotees are like, so overwhelmed with your.
Mataji, इनको बहुत बुलाइए इनको regular because
Yes,
Gaur
yes,
Chandra
Prabhuji. Definitely, definitely.
आपसे मोहब्बत हो
You
गया.
are all you are all very kind to me.
Yeah.
This is the great wealth. I have received the favor of so many devotees who are so dear to Krishna. So that
And
is the
Gaur,
wealth I have
Shyamagari Mataji
acquired
is such
today.
a wonderful mother. She calls all the devotees. She is so wonderful mother.
Yeah. No, you all are actually giving me this opportunity. I'm so happy. Seeing all blissful, wonderful
So many
faces
mothers.
here.
Vinita Mataji, Vinita
Yeah,
Gandharvi,
yeah.
all.
I can see Krishna
एक से
Kumari
बढ़कर एक.
Mataji, Dandavat. Yes, yes. Lalita Mataji, Dinabandhu.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that she's a grandmother, Prabhupada's daughter.
She is Prabhupada.
Thank you so much. So if you are, please pray. Please pray for me and give your blessings. Thank you so much. I look
Thank you,
forward
Prabhuji,
to
once again for such a
opportunities to serve
beautiful
you.
class and very nice question and answer session. I would like to offer my obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas assembled on the call. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya
Kripasindu
patidana
Sankalpatana
वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
Vaishnava
कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः
Namo
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
Namo
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
Lord Chandra Prabhuji ki
Jai Ho!
jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Gauranga!
Nanda.
Radhe Radhe.
Nityananda, Gauranga!
गौरंगा
Jai Jai
नित्यानंद
Shri
Nanda.
Radhe
Hari Hari.
Shyam,
Thank
सबको
you
मेरे
हरि
everybody
वृंदावन
for
धाम.
joining.
Radhe
माता जी
Radhe.
की
Have
जय,
a
लाल
good
की
day.
जय,
Hari
महाप्रभु की धाम की
Bol.
जय हो.
Radhe Radhe.
जगन्नाथ धाम